Hey everybody, it's Valen from Mischief of Mice, here with an episode on Guild Wars 2. I've got access to another one of those beta weekends, and I figured today we would try out the new Revenant class that is out there, plus the new bonus features that they have. So let's get this going in here. Of course, it's going to be in the Heart of Thorns content. It starts in there a little bit, but I'm not going to be doing any quests or anything. I'm just going to be running around. It doesn't save anything about where you are, but hopefully, yeah, it still saves your inventory right now on the beta event. I just have all celestial equipment equipped at the moment. Excuse me, for just the sake of using this. Let's see, actually if I run over here I could probably find some bad guys to attack. Yeah, alright. So, this character here, I did a little bit of messing around, and they seem to be kind of a cross between an elementalist and a warrior of sorts. Now, they do have a slight limitation on their weapon selection. For instance, you can use swords, hammers, axes, let's see, maces, and if you use the proper specialization, you can also use a shield. But that's and a staff, and I think that's it. Yep, and a staff, and that's pretty much it. There isn't much of anything for ranged in this one. I mean, to give an example, the staff. Here's a warthog here. I'm going to use my regular attack, and it's a melee weapon. It is not your usual like magic staff that's going to shoot beams at bad guys. So just a little heads up there. But you can dual wield swords. You can also carry an axe, I believe. You can actually do axes as only a primary weapon. I could be mistaken. Or no, they're only allowed as a secondary weapon. Once I kill this warthog here, hold on. There we go. Now I think that the axe is only usable, yeah, as a secondary weapon. You can't use it as a primary. So otherwise, you'd be able to dual wield them. But let's see, moving on, you could do a single mace as a primary. You can't use it as a secondary, as I'm showing you here. The hammer, it's, two-handed weapon just like the staff. And the shield is only usable as a secondary weapon. You can't dual wield shields. That'd be a little bit crazy, but it's very interesting because in order to get your full use out of the Revenant, you'd really have to do a lot of messing around with your F1 and F2 abilities, primarily F1. And to give an example, you have legendary, just legends that you can summon. There's, let's see, Glint, there's Shiro Tagachi, there's, oh gosh, I can't even remember this one's name. And then there's Malix, Jalis Ironhammer, Ventari, that's it. But you can summon each one of these ones in like a minor form. It's not like you're actually summoning the creature itself. But and what it does is it changes all of your utility skill slots. Now, you can't actually change these. You can rearrange them, but you can't change them to any other skills. That's where the F1 ability comes in. So you can choose two of them in battle to switch back and forth on, same as your weapons. So I could invoke Jalis, and I could invoke Glint here. It started out with, oops, not him, with these two equipped when I booted in, and I have to say they're basically your vanilla guys. You can definitely work your build to do some pretty cool stuff, that's for sure. You can make yourself into a Healy build, you can make yourself into Fury builds, all sorts of really interesting stuff. So let's get into some of the items here. First, we're going to just go with the weapons. Obviously you've got your staff, which does 3 different attacks. I believe most of the others, except for, oh no wait, the mace does it as well. The mace is actually pretty good, in my opinion. It may be my favorite weapon of all of the ones that you can start with. Now, there are advantages to like doing dual wield swords, but Typically, I love using two-handed hammers. In this case, I'm not really a big fan of it. Let's just equip a hammer here. Swap out for this two-handed weapon. Whoops, wrong one. This one. There we go. And let's find ourselves a victim. Now, the animation is a little bit weird. I mean, the wind-up is a little bit awkward. That's probably what ends up getting me, is just the animation bugs me a little bit. But then you've got the ability to slay on the ground, and it shoots this large ray in the ground. Let's do that again so you can see. And it does bigger damage the further away you go, as you can see there. Then there's... This one's pretty cool. You can actually leap through the air, hit the ground, and it teleports you back, but your screen never moves. So therefore enemies will actually tend to chase you away from your location, and then you'll teleport back. So that's pretty darn cool. I do like the mobility of it. Then there's this one here that creates a field in front of you, so that it gives you a projectile block. But if you have enemies that are relatively near to you and shooting, it's kind of useless, because if you back up, they tend to back up with you, and it's not that helpful. So, I mean, it can be very useful, don't get me wrong, because that's just a very spammable use there compared to some of the other reflect abilities. But then, of course, you've just got this big showy one. Summon a hammer to squish armadillos with. Now, the getting into some of the utility skills, we'll get to those in a moment while I continue on through the weapons here. Now, I'm going to start off with the mace and axe combo. The mace being my favorite one here. Let's see if we can find some enemies. So the first one, just the regular first attacks do torment and poison, which is totally awesome. Let's see if I can actually start attacking something. There we go. And the second one gives burning. So you've got 3 different conditions already being stacked on these creatures as it is. It's pretty darn good. Now, there's also just a way to get a finisher. Let's try and get this pack bull up. Actually, you know what? I don't want that, because it's just going to summon more things. Let's try and kill this troll here. So, here's the finisher. Pretty cool. You know, it does a ground pound smash, and it actually will leap a little bit at your target. I need another target, actually. Usually they're not too difficult to find. There we go. So let's see if I can... Yeah, just a little leap. It's not very big, but it does move you forward slightly. So if something's backed up away from you, you might be able to reach it with that. But then you've got this one, which the axe as a secondary... The number 4 actually does something pretty cool here. Let's go target this rat and see if I can... Nope, won't let me. It's too far away. So I'll get a little bit closer when I do that next time. But what it does is it allows you to teleport to the target and attack them. And the last one here, slice into the mist, creating an unstable rift. It basically is a pull for bad guys. Let's see what we can... So you see it like launches them together, and then you can shoot yourself over there with the axe. It's pretty darn cool. I really do like this combo. See, just the regular skills alone, the 1s and 2s, you can do some serious damage. Now, I do have a lot of speccing going on with the build that I'm currently using, so that also, of course, plays into it. But let's get into some other weapons. Now, swords in first and secondary. Alright, so in here you've got your 3 different types of slashes. Here, 1, 2, 3. And that essentially just keeps vulnerability going. You can see these stacks just constantly increasing. So the more you're hitting them with the sword, you're definitely bringing its defenses down quickly. Then, of course, it adds in a chilled, so that they can't get away from you. And then you've got might enhancement on here with these ones, and it's a shadow step, so it's not too bad either. The swords are pretty cool. Oh, I just missed him. But let's see. There we go. So you can see these are pretty showy skills. They're very, very nice. Now the sword in a second one is actually more defensive. It's almost like you're wielding a shield, in my opinion. Let's see if I can get one of these guys to come by here, and then you take a defensive stance, just like a guardian would. And it essentially is looking for them to try and attack you. You know, it's just a block. All the bad guys just disappeared. This is beta, so keep in mind not everything is really working as it intended perfectly. But stab your foe, and then you shadow step backwards, which of course I had a stone behind me, so that didn't really work very well. But there we go. There's your planned block, which is pretty cool. I mean, you essentially get like an Aegis effect, but you end up telling it when you want to have it. And let's see if there's anything else here. Oh, let's see. I think it's just the staff and the shield. So let's do the shield next, since I've already got. Actually, let me put the staff on here as well. All right. Now the staff, as I was showing before, it is a melee weapon. So you're attacking hand-to-hand with it. Then you can add, with it, you've got your 3 normal attacks, but it will attack 3 nearby targets. Then you've got a sweeping attack that adds in a weakness effect. Then you've got a blindness. Then you've got a healing option, which is actually pretty cool. But it doesn't heal you. That's the fun part. It heals nearby friendlies. So there we go. But this one here is pretty darn cool. It's a little bit glitchy if you're really close to a guy. Sometimes you'll just end up running over them and through them and not doing all the damage you could, but it is really cool and showy. Plus it's a little bit of a burst of speed forward. So with the staff, it is kind of similar to a guardian role. Maybe it's a cross between a guardian and an elementalist, I guess would be the best way to say that this character plays. Yeah, and then you've got your deflection ability with the warding rift, which bounces back projectiles and so on. So you see there, I ended up actually hitting the wolf many times, but it kind of pushed it off. So if you're not lined up properly, you could charge off of a cliff. Something you'll want to be careful of with that ability. So let's switch over and show you the shield, which I currently have the ability equipped so that we can see it. It's not usually available unless you choose the proper specialization. But there we go. And that essentially will give like an area buff. It gives protection and healing in an area. And let's see if we can catch up with the rest of the group. Then this other one it's very passive. It's channel a shield, you get healing and an area, so you can see I've got like this vulnerability for a few seconds. Very, very cool that you can actually plan that out, but it's not completely invulnerable. Like, I've been confused and so on, but it will block and eliminate damage from most items. Alright, so let's get into some more interesting stuff here. Now, actually I'm going to move out of the way so I don't just get attacked by everything while I'm in my inventory screens. Alright. Is that guy coming right at me? Let's move over. Alright, so I'm going to keep the staff equipped, but I'm going to switch up to, let's see, mace and axe like I had before, just so that when I show you these different build options, it doesn't automatically unequip it. So you can see I've got 5 slots here, 6 slots here, because this is my specialization slot, because I already have it chosen. But devastation. So this one starts off with mutilating defenses. It's pretty cool, gives a trigger chance of vulnerability. Then its next one is a damage increase to targets with vulnerability, and then its last one is life siphon or life healing if they have vulnerability on them. So this one, all 3, very good synergy. Usually you don't end up seeing that too much with a lot of the specializations. But then they've got I've got Assassin's Presence currently equipped, which increases ferocity by allies. Then there's wielding a sword gains stack of rapid laceration stacked up to 5 times, which gives you basically bonus damage while wielding a sword. But like I said, I'm not using a sword at the moment. Then when one of your attacks is blocked, your next attack will be unblockable. That one's pretty cool, but if you've got a series of attacks that you're doing and the guy's got some kind of invulnerability going up, it may be wasted. So I just went with something that's very vanilla right now, and that's kind of what I've got going in my opinion. Now this one here, call upon the Jade Wind to turn enemies into Jade. It's kind of cool. It essentially will stun them for a short amount of time, and then but that's when you're downed. So you increase damage is 25% when you're down, therefore allowing you to get back into the fight much more often. And since I'm not familiar with this character, I figured it was a really good choice. But I haven't had as much issue with this one as I have with trying out the last specialization change. Then Nefarious Momentum. Gain might when using Assassin stance skills. Now that's talking about these stance skills, which we haven't gotten into yet. And that's, of course, combat only, so you can't just automatically use it. Then, of course, Ferocious Strikes gain increased ferocity while dual-wielding weapons. So if you've got 2 weapons instead of a 2-handed weapon, therefore it's going to work out for you. But I tend to do 2 single-handed weapons and 1 double-handed weapon. I don't know why I always end up doing that with my characters, so I know that this one's just not for me no matter what. Alright, and then of course the last one, Swift Termination. Increased damage to targets below the health threshold. So this is why you saw they weren't taking that much damage when I was first attacking, but once their health got about halfway, they really started getting damaged quickly by me. And it's because of this ability here, which I found really tremendous. You just need to get the enemy below 50%, and you can start doing some serious damage to them. And this will be great for bosses. Then you've got this one here, Skills that Disable Foes, remove an additional stack of stability, and siphon life from foes when hitting a foe from behind or the side. And as I am not as skilled a player as many other Guild Wars 2 people may be, I tend to stand still more than I move around, and I should be moving around much more often. So this could work for me, but I just went for something that gave me a lot more damage, because, well, I like seeing big numbers of damage on on the bad guys. Alright, I'm just going to cover these next 2, and then before we get into the other 3, I'm going to tell you about the different stances that you can do. So, Retribution. This one here, when struck to gain endurance, trigger chance 50%, you gain 25%, 25 endurance, so you get a little bit of your dodge ability back. Grant stability after you dodge. That's always great. Love that, because if you end up dodging out of the way and it's not that good and you still get hit by an effect, you might not get frozen in place. And then take reduced damage below the health threshold. So if your health is below 75%, you automatically get a damage reduction of 10%. Gotta love that. These ones, of course, all have good basic synergy, nothing really heavy like it was up here where they just feed into each other, but they're really just good all-around ones here. Alright, then we go into Dome of Mists, create an area that blocks projectiles and weakens foes, which it's not too bad, but it's from falling, so it's basically just your 50% damage falling one when you're doing jumping puzzles. Foes that strike you from farther away than the range threshold deal less damage. Now this one's kind of interesting because of the next one that there is. So foes that strike you from farther away than 360 range deal 10% less damage to you. This one here, damage is reduced by 20%, but taunted foes deal less damage to you. Taunt has an increased duration when applied to non-player characters. So it's only good for taunted characters, which is this number 8 skill here. You see there's that new ability Taunt happens on there. So I don't find that to happen often enough to take advantage of the damage reduction, because I'm not going to be a taunting player. Though others will definitely end up abusing this as much as they can, and I can't say I blame them. Therefore, I just go for the 10% damage reduction for those that are further away than the really close ones. So you're not getting sniped by those centaurs with rifles as you're running through their territory or something. Alright, then moving forward, we've got Eye for an Eye. When disabled by a foe with stun, daze, etc., taunt that foe for a short duration. And this would feed well with this other taunt ability. So you can build it so that you're taunting more often and pulling the bad guys onto you, therefore freeing up the rest of the team, and you can even have your other skills help heal as well while you're taunting, so you could end up becoming kind of a pulling tank of the group. Retaliatory evasion, gain retaliation after you dodge. So nothing wrong with that, reflect incoming damage. Like I said, I've just got a vanilla build going right now. And then gain protection whenever you are disabled or taunted, minus 33%. It's not bad, not bad. And then we've got Empowering Vengeance, gain might when struck while under the effects of retaliation. Which I don't find retaliation something that I can keep up that often enough to really keep that going. But invoke a hammer to circle around you, inflict damage and weakness on impacted targets. Now this is chance on hit to spawn a destructive hammer. This sounds like fun to me. I really did like the sounds of it. So every time that you may hit, there's a 1 in 4 chance that you'll spawn a hammer that'll run around doing weakness around you. It's unblockable for about 10 seconds, and I think that's totally awesome. But the next skill just ended up really telling me, since I'm unfamiliar with the character, this is the way to go. Chance when struck to heal yourself. So it's a 50% chance that I get almost 500 health back whenever I get hit. I just couldn't pass that up with a brand new character, and I'm glad that I did, just so that I'm not downed or respawning all the time. Alright, and you know what, actually we're going to cover the Herald in a minute. We're going to go over the stances a little bit here, so you can see what the heck this is about. Oh, looks like I've got a friend. Alright, well this gives me a chance to show you a little bit. So each one will have their own healing skill, and then they'll have their utilities and an elite skill. Now I'm using a healing skill here for Jalis Ironhammer. Now, I'm still needing health, so I could still switch out, and then I could use Shiro's healing ability, which of course requires me to be attacking an enemy. But I mean, you essentially get access to 2 healing skills in a row by doing this. So it's pretty cool, assuming that you end up knowing how to use them properly. So there's a lot of back and forths of using the stances, and in between battles you can actually choose different stances. So I just accidentally clicked let me just click that back. The Facet of Nature, which is part of the what is it? The Herald Specialization, which also gives us access to a shield. Otherwise, you don't have an F2 ability. But in this, it grants nearby allies abilities. Let's see, pulse natural every few seconds. Increase outgoing boon duration by 50%. And that's every 3 seconds or so. So it's pretty darn cool. If you want to increase the boon durations, everybody's going to love having you around. You're basically going to be the party person to go to. But, alright. So, we were on Jalis Ironhammer. Let me switch back here. His first one here is basic healing with retaliation and 3 conditions removed. It's very simple, a really strong heal, and basic. I like it a lot. Then we've got the next skills, the Inspiring Reinforcement. This one here, create a stone road, and it basically will cause weakness, stability for any friendlies in there, a bunch of cascading attacks as the bricks fall down, which I'll show you here. Actually, let me move a little bit to a better area, and I will cast it here. Really cool effect. I like it. It's just aesthetically pleasing to see it happen. Then you've got this one here, Forced Entanglement. This one causes taunt, and I'm actually going to use it on this Devourer here. So you can see I've got the chain on him. He is now taunted. But it was only for a short time. But I can still use it. It just depends on how my skill level here is. I should. There we go. Let's just get this guy out of the way. Alright, so while that's going on, I'm going to taunt him, and then we're going to summon some hammers. This is the last one here. This is an ongoing one. So as you have it out, dang it, as you have it out, it will slowly reduce your meter here. Now this is similar to like ferocity of, let's get some health back here. I don't want to die. Okay. So, bring this back. So this here, it's like I was saying, it's an ongoing effect. You see, I start at 50% here, and I can't remember what this stuff is called here, but it's similar to like a adrenaline for a warrior or something like that. And as you use abilities, except for your number 1 ability, that doesn't use any. All the rest of your abilities, if you notice, there's like it says 3/4 for a time to use, then it says 5, and it's either like a potion or a person's profile. Can't really tell there. But that 5 with the potion symbol, I'm just going to call it potion symbol, is the cost on this meter. Then you've got 10, 15, 15, and so on. And as you attack, you'll be building that up. But as you use these skills, you'll be bringing it back down. So watch the 50% here. When I click this one, it uses 30. Boom. So you can see, and it automatically was regenerating as I cast it. So it's got kind of an area, or it constantly comes into play. It's also similar to like energy in Guild Wars 1, if you ever played that one out. Now I'm going to use the last one here, release hammers, and that summons a bunch of hammers around me that attacks all enemies. And it constantly is draining this at a slow rate. So I just really like that one. It's very passive, very easy, click it and forget it. I'm kind of that kind of player most of the time. That's why I really like my hammer guardians, because I can heal things just by spamming my number 1 key if I want, and I can focus more on dodging. But with this, you can also channel a legendary dwarf and turn nearby players into stone characters. So we now have increased defenses. Let's see here, you're still susceptible to conditions and control effects, but you basically reduce incoming damage considerably. Oh, I'm about to die here. Let's see if I can switch this on and do some damage. Okay. And I'm going to get out of this area so that I'm not constantly losing health. Alright. But there you go. You see that this is drained, and I had these little, like, no symbol on there. I think that's still a work in progress, but they're basically showing that that skill's unavailable because you don't have enough of this energy available to you. Okay, so that's it for the Jalis Ironhammer, and now we have... oh, actually, I already covered that one. We're going to go back to Shiro Tagachi. He's more based on fast attack skills with some different abilities. Alright, well, this one here, Enchanted Daggers. Here's your heal skill. You get 6 daggers, and for your next 6 attacks, you steal health and siphon damage. So, and you do an initial heal when you cast it of 1700. So it's not too bad. But like I was saying, if you end up switching it with the 2, you can end up getting 2 heal skills out of it. Then you've got Legendary Assassin. Conditions, these 3 condition types would be removed. Not all conditions, just those 3. And you evade back. Pretty cool. And then it can be used multiple times. So you can actually, let's see. If you have enough of the energy for it, you can actually keep evading back. So you can evade back one way, evade back another, then you can dodge. So you can do lots of tricks with this one. This one here, step through the mist to your target. Let's choose the hyena, and you basically zoom in. It's I think it's a shadow step effect, but not 100% sure on that one. Then this last one, it's an ongoing effect like the Jalis one, and it essentially gives you increased speed to attack. So let's see, empower yourself with Shiro's speed and quickness to quickly take out enemies. 50% faster on skills and actions, and your movement speed is greatly increased. So it's constantly being used, and you do faster attacks, which is why I used it with my healing skill, so I could get those quick 6 hits in and heal myself faster, as well as kill the enemies faster. Always great when you can do both. Kill the enemy faster and heal yourself faster. And then of course you've got your Jade Winds. Call upon the Jade Wind to turn enemies into Jade, stunning them for a short duration. So let's see if we can find... I don't want to go into that zone there just for demonstration time. Here we go. We're going to turn you into Jade. And you can see there it was stunned for a good second or two. 3 seconds. There you go. He got turned into Jade and destroyed. So, and of course, combining that healing skill with your super speed skill, I forgot, since it siphons life, it also increases your damage at the same time. So, not that many healing skills can increase your damage. Alright, now, the other ones. There is Malix, which... not one of my favorites, really, but there are those that are going to absolutely love him. He's all about conditions being on you. So heal yourself and more for each condition currently applied to you. It's a decent heal, and then you get bonus heals for each condition. Self-weakness for 4 seconds, minus 50% endurance, regeneration, 50% fumble, etc. But a lot of the skills available under the specialization that specifically applies to him may help benefit you. But then you've got Legendary Demon, grant resistance to yourself and nearby allies, absorbs conditions from those allies around you. You see here, it's got a really big area of effect that it absorbs those abilities from. And then conditions currently on you are ineffective, stacks in duration. So it's pretty cool that it absorbs conditions, tries to keep them on you, gives you benefits for having them on there, and they're not affecting you. So it's not too bad. Then you've got... here, let's start attacking this guy so I just don't die from it. Then you've got deal damage to your foe, remove boons, and so on. This is a very confusing one for me. I'm not a big confusion player. I haven't gotten into the mesmers so much. See if I can gain a little bit of... there we go. Gained a lot of health because I had multiple conditions on me. There we go. It's dead. But essentially apply bonus confusion if you have equal or more conditions on the threshold, etc. And you have to have an enemy target, of course. So let's see if we can get him to attack. And then there you go. He was confused, and so there you go. Doing extra damage while he's confused. Unyielding Anguish, leap toward the targeted area, tormenting foes and creating a demonic field that displaces enemies. Applying bonus torment if you have equal or more conditions. Like I said, this is a very condition-specific, very finessey build, in my opinion. There are going to be those that absolutely love this. And it gives you tons of extra damage from torment. Let's see if we can get this Devourer here. And then we've got Embrace the Darkness. Summon the power of the legendary demon to transform. And this is pretty cool. You actually turn into like an avatar of Malix. And you end up getting... let's end that real quick, because it's a consistent one. It keeps going at minus 8 per second. But self-torment, this is stuff that you apply. You are basically putting... also, well, here, power of the legendary demon to transform into a powerful avatar, increases all attributes and copy conditions to nearest foes every few seconds. That's what this pulsing field is. All the conditions are going out. But if you notice, I'm giving myself torment, which I can also heal myself for and gain immunity to with the other abilities if I shut that off and have enough energy left to cast them. This one here. So, like I said, this one's really condition-specific, which falls in line with a lot of Guild Wars 2's latest enhancements to the condition, well, to everything conditions, really. Alright, so let's go and switch... boy, I keep hitting that wrong thing. Let's go with Ventari here. He is very unique in his abilities. Let's switch this out. Kill this guy a little quicker. Alright, and switching it. Ventari. This one here, you can't use any of his skills. You notice they all have the no symbol on there. Essentially what that means is that you have to use his healing skill, because he is completely heal based in his stuff. Now he will do a little bit of damage, but he is really about support. For instance, if I hit 6 here, I can tell this thing where to go, and it will shoot over there and heal anything along the path. Now you do have to wait like 2 seconds before you can use it again, but it's pretty good that you can do that, you know. I mean, and so therefore you could actually be in the back attacking this guy, you know, or having your group attacking while you're moving your tablet around, because the tablet also can have a protective barrier on it, which then you can move it back over here. Say, alright, well I want to protect this character or this person. It also gives out a healing area. If you look here, it gives healing healing allies every few seconds. Yeah, healing of 355. So it's a constant healing spring. Simply if you're familiar with Ranger's healing effects. And oops, I left that running. The protective barrier will keep going. It's one that -8 per second. It will constantly keep running until you shut it off. This one here, collect energy, pulling it into the tablet, and then it does a healing burst. Pretty cool. There is a little delay on it, and you can repeat that one very quickly, but it does cost 25 power. Remove conditions from allies near the tablet and heal them for a small amount per condition. So once again, another really good healing option. This one here is a really good alternate build if you have like a really friendly one that you just like playing, you know, one of the characters. This one would be a good alternate for just in case you need the extra healing. And then the last one, force energy to erupt from the tablet, knocking back nearby foes and leaving behind energy fragments. And those will heal allies. So let's see if we can. Now if I just run away from this tablet, it actually will stay where it's at, which I thought was kind of weird. But if I try and summon it, I can't summon it any further away. I have to summon it close by. And then it comes over, and then elite skill. So you can see there's the orbs that are nearby for people to pick up. Looks like that's only for friendly allies and not for yourself. That's kind of interesting. Alright, so let's see if we can switch to another character here. I have to wait for myself to get out of battle. There we go. Alright, and let's go to... Did we do Shiro already? Yes. Pretty sure we did. Yep, we did. Okay. And then we did Jalis. And then we've got Glint. Which, for those of you that are familiar with the storyline, poor Glint passed away. But, let's kill this thing here. I haven't actually looked at this one yet. Originally when I was looking at this, I forgot that it was there. I think it's part of the specialization that I chose allows me to choose Glint as well. So Facet of Darkness. No, actually, let's look at the healing one. Place the Facet of Light on yourself to grant nearby allies regeneration every few seconds. Okay. So that's similar to the Facet of Nature. You notice I now have 2 of them on. And that one, plus this one. Nice. Consume Facet of Light to heal yourself and invert all incoming strikes to healing for a short duration, which is pretty darn cool. There are some abilities that do that. Let's see here.
Defense, then offense.
And he's not going to attack me, of course, during that time. Oh, no, he did. And nothing happened. So, let's attack this guy. And Place the facet of darkness on yourself and grant nearby allies fury every few seconds. Then, of course, you can consume it to reveal the area around you, pulling foes out of stealth and blinding them, which is pretty cool if you're into PvP. That could really do a lot. Then you've got the facet of elements, which place the facet on yourself to grant nearby allies swiftness every few seconds. Nice. That's an excellent running skill. Oh boy. After playing the Guardian with very few ongoing running options, that is fantastic. And then, of course, consume the facet to cover the target area in magical dragon breath. That sounds fun. Oh, look at that. Nice.
Might makes me right.
Alright, and then what's this last one? Place the facet of strength on yourself to grant nearby allies might every few seconds. These are pretty straightforward. I do like these quite a bit. And then damage nearby foes. Alright, and then place the facet of chaos on yourself to grant nearby allies protection every few seconds. Wow. Oh, but that one has an ongoing cost. So that's 33% less damage. Huh. Whoa, that was cool. I didn't even look at that. Okay, so let's see. Place Facet of Strength. I missed what this one was for the activate. Consume it, damaging nearby foes and causing vulnerability. Ah, okay. Might as well do that there. Okay. Not too bad. Wait, how many of these facets go? Oh, I've got 3 facets going. This is pretty cool. Alright, so I definitely like the Dragon Stance of Glint. The options on that are pretty neat in my opinion. At least the ability to have things ongoing. Oh, I see, and they constantly will eliminate your energy reserve. So this is very much like Guild Wars 1. Let's turn that off. And we'll turn that off. And then I can regain my regen. Because these arrows, just like in Guild Wars 1, represent your regeneration rate. So the more arrows you have, the more faster it regens, and the less it is, the more it goes away. Alright, so let's place the Facet of Dragon on yourself. Protection every few seconds. Consume it, releasing chaotic winds, damaging and knocking back foes while granting super speed to allies. Nice. Okay, let's see if we can get this Devourer here. And then we're going to cast it. Oh, very nice. Very nice. I do like that. Alright, so let me see if I can finish off this Devourer here. And then we can switch to a new one. I think actually that covered it. That's all of those ones. So let me back up here, get into a safer area, and we can cover the last of the specializations. Specializations. Alright, so we were playing as the Herald, and I'm just going to switch it to, let's do Salvation. And you notice, yep, Glint disappeared. So the Herald definitely gave you that ability. So something to keep in mind is that the new specialization does that, or allows the use of the shield and the use of the Herald or the Glint stance, dragon stance. All right, so Salvation, striking a foe while they are using a skill blinds them. Gain toughness based on a percentage of your healing power, and increase healing to allies. Okay, so it's defensive, or avoid damage, toughness to avoid damage, and increase healing. 15%, okay. And then you've got, it's just very defensive. I mean, it is called Salvation. Then we've got regeneration to allies near Ventari's tablet. So this one is focused primarily on Ventari, as a lot of your specializations are focused on one of the stances. This one will be focused on him. You've got blind nearby foes when you use a healing skill. While above the health threshold, healing to allies is increased. Very good. Alright, and then of course we've got Another Ventari skill, I believe. The healing orbs that you create while wielding a staff will now grant swiftness and regeneration when picked up by allies. That's weird. Cleave foes around you with your staff, creating healing orbs for you and your allies as the third one. Oh, I'd missed that before. Okay. Regen, swiftness. Alright, and then we've got dodge rolling removes a condition from nearby allies. Healing done to allies is increased for a short duration after invoking a legend, which, choosing one of these, like this, switching, actually, let me cook one. Doing that is invoking a legend, so that's how that one's going to work out. Now we've got increase healing to allies. We already did that one. Increase outgoing healing based on a percentage of healing power. Interesting. So it increases your healing based on your healing. That's unheard of. Okay. That's pretty cool if you want to do a healing build, especially with that that tablet that you've got. You can just run that over everybody in your team as often as you want. Create energy fragments around Ventari's tablet when using a legendary centaur stance skill. And daze nearby foes when using an elite skill. Not as useful. Because, well, I guess the elite skills actually are not quite the same on this one as they are on others, because you can use them more frequently. Alright. Well, that was Salvation. Then we've got Corruption and Invocation. We'll do Invocation next. And this one here. Gain Fury when you invoke a legend. Deal increased damage to targets while you have Fury. And invoke a legend will now break stuns. So, in going back and forth on legends will basically is going to give you Fury and increase your stun break. Alright, when one of your attacks is negated, your next attack will deal bonus damage. Pretty cool. Invoking a legend removes a condition. Once again, another reward for invoking a legend. Using a healing skill grants you Fury. Which, Fury, so let's see, you do these two. Gain Fury from a legend. Using a healing skill grants you Fury. Deal increased damage to targets while you have Fury. So, there's some really good synergy here. Invoking a legend triggers a burst from the mists that heals allies if your energy is below the threshold, or damages foes if your energy is above it. Oh, healing or damage. Okay. Heal yourself when you use a skill that has an energy cost, which all your skills are going to have an energy cost except your number one. I looked at this on all of them. Something of note. So that one is going to be healing you quite frequently if you're using a lot of skills. Gain Fury when you break out of a stun. Once again, another Fury. So it's like Fury, 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 Fury. And then you can break stuns, break stuns, break stuns. So this one's got a lot of focus on Fury and stun breaking. Critical hit chances increased effectiveness when you're under the effects of, guess what? Fury. And then gain might when you use a skill that drops your energy below the threshold. And while your energy is above the threshold, your outgoing healing is increased while your energy is below the threshold. Incoming damage to you is reduced. Oh, okay, so that's similar to this one here. You could actually have those damage reduced or healing per target increased in this. Yeah, that's not too bad. Invocation's kind of got a focus mostly on stun breaks and Fury bonuses. And then you've got Corruption, which this one's part of Malix. Critical hits have a chance to cause Torment, which Malix is all about Torment. And then striking a foe gives you a chance to remove a boon from that foe. And Yearning Empowerment Torment lasts longer, which Torment is pretty good. It does a decent amount of damage, especially when you stack it with other ones like Poison and Fire and Shield effects. Why not? Going on with these skills. Incoming conditions provide you a small amount of healing, which that's not very much, but with Malix, you could actually constantly be having incoming conditions and gain immunities to them. So that could be a nice little heal bonus there. Using a legendary demon stance skill grants resistance for a short duration, which the only legendary demon stance is going to be him. Otherwise it's assassin, centaur, demon, dwarf, and dragon. Then we got Bolstered Anguish. Increased damage for every condition currently on you. Bonus damage, 3%. Once again, condition effective. Chance to chill your foe when you land a critical hit. And then you've got the more bonuses on that confusion skill. Use Banished Enchantment when striking a foe that has boons equal to or greater than the threshold. So this is boons dependent. Then you've got Burn nearby foes when using an elite skill. Not too bad if you have one of those elite skills you can turn on and off. Then increase your critical hit chance every few seconds. Bonus is reset when you land a critical hit. So that's not too bad. Chance when struck to copy all conditions currently on you to nearby foes for a few seconds. No, 15% chance on trigger. Which, that can be a bit redundant if you're using some of Malix's skills already. So I don't know how good that one's going to be for that. You might still like this for other reasons, though. You don't have to focus on Malix just for this one. I think that covers all of those ones. What was it? So, yeah, we did Salvation already. So, that about sums it up here for everything that I was working on. This one here is just another one of my beta characters. I hope you guys liked the video. I mean, I did a lot of talking, not too much experimentation on this, but I hope you enjoyed it. If so, please give a like, comment, or subscribe. And until next time, see ya.